Stagnant. Not flowing or moving, showing no activity or progress. Example: the stagnant water became a breeding ground for mosquitoes. Emulate. To copy someone or something to equal or do better than them. Example: she tried to emulate her older brother's success in academics. Apathy. Not showing interest, excitement, or care. Example: voter apathy can lead to low participation in elections. Evade. To avoid something or someone, especially in a tricky or clever way. Example: he tried to evade the teacher's questions by pretending he didn't hear her. Callous. Showing or having an insensitive and cruel disregard for others. Example: his callous remarks about the accident upset everyone. Haughty. Acting better than others and looking down on them. Example: the haughty woman refused to associate with her less wealthy neighbors. Zany. Funny and quirky in a unique way. Example: his zany sense of humor always entertained his friends. Wary. Being careful about possible dangers or problems. Example: he was wary of strangers after the incident last year. Demeanor. The way someone acts or carries themselves. Example: despite the bad news, he maintained a calm demeanor. Notorious. Famous or well known, usually for something bad. Example: the notorious criminal was finally captured after years on the run. Frivolous. Not having any serious purpose or value. Example: the lawyer dismissed the case as frivolous and without merit. Tenacious. Trying hard to hold on to something, persistent. Example: her tenacious spirit helped her overcome numerous challenges. Vigilante. A person who takes the law into their own hands. Example: the vigilante group patrolled the streets, seeking to stop crime. Sarcastic. Marked by using irony to mock or show disdain. Example: her sarcastic comments often hurt people's feelings. Inept. Having or showing no skill, clumsy. Example, his inept handling of the situation made things worse. Ostracize. Exclude someone from a group or society. Example, the team ostracized him after he missed the game. Apprehensive. Afraid or nervous about something that could happen. Example, she felt apprehensive before her job interview. Vigilant. Being very alert and watchful for possible danger or problems. Example, the security guard was vigilant throughout the night. Substantiate. To provide evidence to support or prove the truth of something. Example, they needed to substantiate their claims with solid evidence or facts. Auspicious. Good for success or helpful for doing well. Example, they chose an auspicious date for their wedding. Concur. To agree or have the same opinion. Example, I concur with your assessment of the situation. Dexterous. Showing skill, especially with your hands. Example, the dexterous surgeon performed the complex operation successfully. Insinuate. To suggest or hint that something bad might happen without saying it directly. Example, he tried to insinuate that she was responsible for the mistake. Jargon. Special words or expressions used by a particular profession or group. Example, medical jargon can be difficult for patients to understand. Pragmatic. Handling things in a practical and realistic way. Example, her pragmatic approach helped solve the complex problem efficiently. Undermine. Slowly wear away the bottom of something, making it weaker. Example, constant criticism can undermine a person's confidence. Vicarious. Experienced in the imagination through the feelings or actions of another person. Example, she enjoyed the vicarious thrill of reading adventure novels. Brevity. Using few and clear words in writing or speech. Example, The brevity of his speech made it impactful and memorable. Cohesive. Coming together to form a single, united group. Example: the team worked in a cohesive manner to achieve their goals. Diverge. To separate from another route, especially a main one. Example: the two roads diverge just outside the village. Eminent. Famous and respected within a particular sphere. Example: the eminent scientist was awarded for his groundbreaking research. Grumble. Complain or protest in a bad-tempered way. Example: he tends to grumble whenever he has to wake up early. Hostile. Unfriendly or acting like an enemy. Example: the meeting became hostile when disagreements arose. Blatant. Done in a way that everyone can see and without feeling embarrassed, easy to notice. Example: the student's cheating was so blatant that the teacher immediately noticed. Deplorable. Shockingly bad in quality. Example: the living conditions in the camp were deplorable. Evasive. Trying to avoid making promises or sharing personal information, especially by not giving direct answers. Example: the politician gave evasive answers during the interview. Frugal. Careful about spending money or using food. Example: he was frugal, always looking for ways to save money. Jovial. Cheerful and friendly. Example: he was in a jovial mood after hearing the good news. Lament. A passionate expression of grief or sorrow. Example: she lamented the loss of her beloved pet. Plausible. Looking like it makes sense or is likely. Example: her explanation seemed plausible, so everyone believed her. Quaint. Attractively unusual or old-fashioned. Example: the village had a quaint charm that attracted many tourists. Tenure. The holding of an office or position. Example, during his tenure as CEO, the company's profits soared. Ambiguous. Open to more than one interpretation, not having one obvious meaning. Example, the instructions were ambiguous, causing confusion among the students. Deteriorate. To become progressively worse. Example, the condition of the old house began to deteriorate after years of neglect. Hostile. Not friendly, acting like an enemy. Example, the negotiations took place in a hostile atmosphere. Inevitable. Something that is sure to happen and can't be avoided, no matter what you do. Example, the war seemed inevitable after the failed peace talks. Juxtapose. To place different things side by side for comparison. Example, the artist juxtaposed light and dark colors in the painting. Ostentatious. Showing off in a flashy or overly fancy way to impress others. Example, his ostentatious lifestyle was the talk of the town. Heinous. Completely evil or extremely bad. Example, the criminal's heinous crimes shocked the community. Illuminate. To light up or make clear. Example, the streetlights illuminated the path during the night walk. Kudos. Praise and respect given for doing something great. Example, she received kudos for her outstanding performance in the project. Fervent. Having or showing very strong and intense feelings about something. Example, he is a fervent supporter of environmental conservation. Gregarious. Enjoys being around others, friendly and likes to socialize. Example, his gregarious nature makes him popular at social gatherings. Mitigate. To make something less bad, serious, or painful. Example, measures were taken to mitigate the effects of the natural disaster. novel, new or unusual in an interesting way. Example, the company introduced a novel approach to customer service. Quintessential, representing the most perfect or typical example of a quality or class. Example, she is the quintessential example of a dedicated teacher. Reiterate, to repeat something, usually to make it clearer or more important. Example, he reiterated his commitment to the project during the meeting. Transcend, to go beyond or exceed the limits of something. Example, her talent seemed to transcend all expectations. Vindicate, to prove that someone is innocent or not guilty. Example, new evidence helped vindicate the wrongly accused man. Ambivalent, that having mixed feelings or contradictory ideas about something or someone. Example, she felt ambivalent about moving to a new city. Belligerent, unfriendly and ready to fight. Example, his belligerent attitude made it difficult to resolve the conflict. Judicious, having, showing, or done with good judgment or sense. Example, she made a judicious decision to invest in renewable energy. Oblivious, not knowing or not caring about what is happening around you. Example, he was oblivious to the noise outside as he focused on his book. Incessant, keep going without taking a break or stopping for a moment. Example, the incessant rain ruined our picnic plans. Futile, not able to give any good result, useless. Example, their attempts to save the company were futile. Conceited, thinking too much of yourself and believing you're better than others. Example, he's so conceited that he never listens to others. Menacing, indicating that there is a risk, causing fear. Example, the dark clouds looked menacing before the storm. Brash, confident in a rude or bossy way. Example, his brash behavior offended the guests at the party. Complacent. Feeling overly proud of yourself without thinking about any faults or mistakes. Example, she became complacent after winning the first prize, thinking she didn't need to try anymore. Arrogant. Having an exaggerated sense of one's own importance or abilities. Example, his arrogant attitude made him unpopular among his peers. Thanks for watching and subscribe us for more.